Tony and Charlie and myself back here with the Keystone commentary. My thing about Marcellus Shale drilling is it's tough to go into something this big in a learn-as-you-go type of fashion, but as with any technology or science, you do learn as you go. The University of Texas just released a study saying that there's no evidence of groundwater contamination from hydraulic fracking, that they call it. Our own CBS 21's Kirk Clyott did a story last night, or last week, I should say, about they're doing a study in Ohio now. They think that the fracking process might cause earthquakes. There's a lot of mights and maybes out there that I think have communities scared or concerned. So now you put, with Governor Corbett's plan, the burden on the individual community to decide if they're going to charge a fee for possible cleanup and things like that. I would think that leaves them all rather confused.
Well, it's not a burden. It's really an opportunity for the local communities to impose and impact fees should they so desire. And with respect to the issues of concern that Secretary Hanger, I think, appropriately addressed. I mean, there is no such thing as risk-free energy development, no matter what kind of energy you're talking about. Safe and responsible development has to be the key phrase, and that, quite frankly, is what's going on with the Marcellus development in Pennsylvania and elsewhere. And good science has to prevail. The mights, maybes, and what-ifs really have to be pushed to the side in favor of good science. And the study from the University of Texas mirrors what the Environmental Protection Agency in Washington, D.C. has already said about hydraulic fracturing. And I think as we move forward, Pennsylvania will continue to be a leader in good, sensible, and responsible development of the Marcellus Shale through responsible regulatory processes, as the Secretary described.
Tony, you'd agree you can make a great product, but if you can't get your hands on it, like if it's not available to people,
well, that's one of the concerns that I think is going to become more and more prevalent that you're going to see in the public is getting the product to market. Drilling the wells, and I'm glad to hear the former Secretary explain what changes have been made to make them safe or safer. But there's going to be pipelines laid. Pipelines must be laid, and there are going to be risks inherent in operating pipelines just as there are today. But it doesn't mean that we have to run frightened. But we need to exercise caution, I think.
Okay, 15 seconds. Tuesday's primary. Who you got?
I think Governor Romney ultimately wins in Michigan by a very narrow margin. Again, these are not the primaries that you're going to be looking at Super Tuesday. That's where you want to watch.
And I think he's right, and I think it keeps Romney in the game, perhaps moves him back in front of Santorum in the public polls by winning Michigan by a small margin, winning Arizona by a much more comfortable margin.
All right, we're back with the final thought in just a moment.